All right, today we're going to talk about two numbers that are quietly, day in and day out, shaping your long-term health, your blood pressure and your cholesterol. Now, they might seem like they operate behind the scenes, but getting a handle on them is probably the single most important step you can take for your well-being. I mean, think about that for a second. What if the story of your heart's future, your energy, your vitality, what if it was all being written right now in the language of these two little metrics? So, what are they actually telling us? Let's dive in and decode the first one. Okay, first up, blood pressure. We hear this term thrown around constantly, but what is it really? Well, it's pretty simple. It's the force of your blood pushing against the walls of your arteries every single time your heart beats. The best way to picture it is like the water pressure in a garden hose. You know, if there's not enough pressure, the water just kind of dribbles out. But if you crank it up too high, that constant force, day after day, starts to wear down the hose itself. It gets stiff, it gets damaged. That is exactly what high blood pressure is doing to your arteries over time. So when you get your blood pressure taken, you always get two numbers, right? That top number, the systolic, that's the peak pressure. It's the whoosh when your heart contracts and pumps blood out. And the bottom number, the diastolic, that's the pressure when your heart relaxes and refills between beats. You absolutely need both to get the full picture of just how hard your heart is working. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your blood pressure isn't just one static number. It's actually alive, it's dynamic, and it follows this natural 24-hour cycle. It's called a circadian rhythm. So for most of us, our blood pressure should naturally drop while we sleep. But here's the catch. For some people, it doesn't. That's a condition called a non-dipping profile. And this, along with high blood pressure specifically at night, is a silent but really serious red flag for heart issues down the road. And it's something you'd often only catch with 24-hour monitoring. Okay, let's pivot to our second key player. And you'll see how these two build on each other. Let's talk about cholesterol. You know, it gets such a bad rap, but it's not some single evil villain. It's really more like a family of characters, and each one has a totally different role to play in your body. And let's be clear, your body needs this waxy stuff. It's a fundamental building block for your cells, for making hormones. You can't live without it. The problem never was cholesterol itself. The problem is having way too much of the wrong kind floating around in your system. So let's meet the main players. You've got LDL. That's the bad guy. Think of it as the delivery truck that's a little bit messy and tends to drop its cargo, plaque, inside your arteries. Then you've got HDL, the good guy. This is the cleanup crew, the hero that comes along and hauls that bad LDL cholesterol away. And then there are triglycerides, a type of fat that, when levels are high, kind of acts like a dangerous sidekick, making the bad guy even worse. But wait, the plot thickens. Recent studies are pointing to another character in this story, remnant cholesterol. Think of it as all the leftover sticky gunk from other fat-carrying particles in your blood. And what researchers are now finding is that this remnant stuff can be just as, or maybe even more, predictive of heart disease than the classic bad LDL. It's a huge piece of the puzzle we're just now really starting to understand. So this is the most critical point of all. It's how these two things, the sheer force of high blood pressure and the sticky buildup from bad cholesterol, team up. They form this incredibly dangerous partnership that puts your entire system at risk. I want you to imagine your arteries are these beautiful, smooth, pristine highways designed for blood to flow perfectly, while high blood pressure is like having a constant stream of heavy, overloaded trucks pounding that pavement 24/7. Over time, that relentless force starts to create cracks, potholes, and damage along the surface. And this shows us exactly what happens next. First, that high pressure damages the delicate inner lining of your arteries. That's step one. Step two, those cracks create an opening for the bad LDL cholesterol to sneak in and get inside the artery wall where it doesn't belong. Three, that cholesterol starts to build up, it hardens into plaque. And finally, step four, that plaque buildup narrows the highway, creating a traffic jam for your blood flow, and that dramatically increases the risk of a total blockage. And that's what a heart attack or a stroke is. And hey, this isn't just a theory. The science is crystal clear on this. Research, like this big study from 2021, confirms it. It's the combination of pressure and cholesterol that skyrockets the risk. They are so much more dangerous together than either one could ever be on its own. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, and it can sound a little scary, but here is the fantastic news. You have a tremendous amount of power to change this entire story. This is the part where we go from just knowing this stuff to actually doing something about it. And look at this. This isn't me saying it. This is a direct statement from the American Heart Association. The very first line of treatment they recommend isn't some fancy pill. It's physical activity. Your lifestyle is medicine. So what does that look like in the real world? It's about consistent, smart choices. It's regular physical activity. It's shifting to a heart-healthy diet, like the Mediterranean style, full of vegetables, fruits, nuts, and healthy fats. It means finding ways to manage stress, watching how much salt you eat, and, this is key, actually monitoring your numbers regularly. And here's an interesting one. Some research even suggests that just avoiding eating late at night can help your body control blood pressure better. And believe me, these changes have a real, tangible impact. This chart is just an illustration, but it shows you the kind of significant drop you can see in your bad LDL cholesterol with sustained diet and exercise. You can literally watch your risk level go down on paper. It's incredible. So at the end of the day, your blood pressure and your cholesterol numbers, they're telling a story. They're a snapshot of your health right now, but you are the author of that story. With the right knowledge and consistent action, you get to decide what that next healthier chapter is going to be. So what's it going to be? Make it a great one.